What is going on, everyone, and welcome back to my channel. It is currently Saturday, January 25th, and my portfolio has hit an all-time high. $333,835 is the current value of my portfolio. If we look at portfolio growth over time, back when I started tracking this, I did have some transfers come in, so don't think this is all coming from portfolio growth, but 222,000 now, $333,835 is an all-time high for my portfolio growth. Awesome to see, makes it feel good when you're investing. The market does not always go up, right? But when it does, and there's those weeks of all-time highs, which the S&P 500 this week was up nearly 2%, hit an all-time high this week. When we have these types of weeks, it's a good feeling. It reminds us why we invest. Then when the market's down, we have years like 2022, then we look at it like, hey, this is fine. I have a long time horizon. The market's down 20%. I'll buy more for the same amount of money I was investing. I'll buy this sale. I'll buy this sale up. That's how I view investing. It's a win-win for me. When the market's up, my portfolio's up, and I'm having a good time. I'm green, right? When the market's down, because I have a long time horizon, I don't freak out. I celebrate because I get to buy my favorite assets on sale. It's a win-win. Because I kept buying, portfolio's at an all-time high, $333,000. Now, for this pie chart over here, diversification, I, from last video, updated this because I was breaking up multiple holdings. Like, for example, I have QQQM in multiple portfolios. So it was breaking it up. Now I have it all combined into one. So 58% of my portfolio, nearly 59%, is in VOO. S&P 500, it had an all-time high this week. That is why, partly why, my portfolio is up at such a high value. But 58% of my portfolio is VOO. Nearly 10% of my portfolio or combined portfolios are QQQM. 15% are CLSK. My plan is not to hold this forever. It's a short-term thing. I have a good portfolio size in my age. I was like, let's have a little bit of fun money. I transferred it over from Robinhood. Eventually, I will sell this, but as of now, I'm going to let this ride. 10% of my portfolio, nearly 11% in VTI, and then 1% or nearly 1% each in Bitcoin ETFs. Now, I have Bitcoin elsewhere. I don't publicly share my Bitcoin value. That's something I want to just keep private. Just keep in mind, this is not my only Bitcoin exposure. I use different apps to buy them, and I don't want to track it on here just for personal preferences. Since my last video, I've upped my weekly auto buys to $500 a week. So $500 every single week on every single Friday is automatically pulled from my bank account and invested into this portfolio. It's a good feeling, a good amount. That's over $2,000 a month, averaged out. So it's a good feeling. Also this week I had an extra $200 that I contributed, so a $700 investment week into my portfolio, into my taxable portfolio. It feels good to see that amount of money go in because I know I'm paying my future self. Since getting all my accounts transferred over on January 7th, which is just now a couple weeks ago, my portfolio is up nearly $14,000. I don't care about this in the short term because it's going to go up, it's going to go down. Next week it could be down 10,000. I just like to track this for you all to show you that over time, the longer you give your portfolio time, and if the market does what it's always done over time, which is go up in value over time, not guaranteed, but has historically 100% of the time recovered from every crash. I don't know the future, but historically it has. To watch this number get bigger and bigger and bigger. All time, my portfolio gains are nearly $70,000. This is unrealized gains. I'm not selling to capture these gains, but nearly $70,000 or over 26%. What I want to talk about here is a couple things. Number one, what do I do? What does my wealth building journey look like? And honestly, it's very boring. I get questions, how do you do this? How do I get portfolio size this big? How do I invest? What's the best way to invest? My strategy is very, very simple. I'm not saying it's the best strategy, it's just what I do. This is not personal advice for you. I don't know your situation. I highly recommend talking to a financial planner. If you have questions, fee only. But this is what I do. This is what works for me. This is what's gotten me to where I am. Number one, I get paid. I have a job. Whether that was owning a business, working a 9 to 5, I have money coming in every single month. Number two is no matter the amount of money that comes in, $1,000 a month, $3,000 a month, $7,000 a month, $100 million a month, I spend less than I make. That means that there's money left over. Napkin math here. $4,000 a month coming in, spend $2,500. That leaves $1,500 a month left over. Now, some people are going to say, oh, I have $1,500 a month left over. Let me go buy this. Let me go buy that. Let me go buy this. Let me go buy that. I'm not saying you can't enjoy life, but you have to make sacrifices, especially early on, but you have to make sacrifices with your money. $1,500 a month left over. Let's take $500. Let's take $750. Let's take all of it and buy some assets, appreciating assets with it. I've been investing for going to be 10 years this year. I started at 17. I'll be 27 this year. I'll be investing for 10 years this year. So I've been doing this for years on years on years. So if you're day one or year one, don't compare it to my year 10. Compare your year one to your week one. Compare your year 3 to your year 2. Don't compare it to mine. I'm just sharing my journey. But where I am is not where you should be in your first year, unless you have make a ton of money, but value-wise. But this is what my wealth building journey has looked like. I get paid, I spend less than I make, and I invest the difference into assets. It's very simple. It's not easy to do, but it's very simple, and it works. Now, again, I'm not saying this is the best way for you to do it. Other people I know that do individual stocks, they're very successful at it. I know people that only do crypto, they're very successful at it. I know people that only do real estate, they're very successful at it. So I'm just sharing what my journey is. I'm not saying it's better than anyone else's. It's what works for me. That's the key. Find out what works for you and do it. Let's take two people. Person one, income $70,000. They save, invest $10,000. Person two, income $130,000. They save / invest $5,000. In terms of wealth building, person one is in a better position. They're saving 2 times the amount than person two is. Income's very important, right? You have to have an income. You have to have a delta, a difference between what you make and what you spend. So the higher the income, of course, you can spend more and still invest some. So income is important, don't get me wrong. And I challenge all of you to strive to better your careers, better your businesses, to make more money. I'm never opposed to that. But savings rate also matters. I think it matters more. Someone making $100,000 a year, saving $20,000 a year is in a better position than someone making $250,000 that spends $250,000 over time. It's going to take some time, but after 1, 2, 3 years, if they spend every single thing that they make, they're financially not in a better position. They're in the same spot every year. They start at zero. Where the person saving $20,000 after a couple years has $60, $80, $100,000 saved and invested into assets working for them every single year. So while I do believe income is important, I challenge all of you to do good in your careers to make the most money possible, but savings rate also matters too. So in this update, nothing big has changed other than portfolio value at all-time high, investing now $500 a week, investing extra money that I have. But I just wanted to talk about what my strategy was. I am not saying that my strategy is better than anyone else's out there. Mine's very simple. I make money, I buy the same ETFs every single week, and I keep doing it again next month, and the next month, and the next month. It's very simple, but it's also very effective. So thank you all for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Goodbye.